All right. Good evening. Today I'm going to talk about holistic health or mental health. 9 times out of 10, I'm going to speak about foods or exercise because those are my hobbies. That's what I love to do, and I turn my hobby into something that I love. Right? I love to manipulate my body. I love to build habits, like build different habits and see how things work, right? And I know that the things that I do are the things that so many people talk about, like, I wish I could lose weight, or I wish I look like this. Or when we look at like models, right? They have a certain physique. You know what I mean? When we look at the people on television and the people that are said to be attractive, they look like this, and they're achieving this by understanding what it takes to achieve that body, right? They understand how to eat, right? They understand what things to do and what not to do, and that's kind of like what I like to speak about, teach about, and show people that are interested how to do it, because I've been doing it my whole entire life. Not my whole entire life, but I mean, I've been exercising for a very long time. So, being active is growing. It's a modality of healing, right? It's going to keep you slim. It's going to keep you strong. You can move around. Whatever activity that you're doing, you're going to improve in that activity. Exercise wise or moving wise. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about mental health, because mental health is a very important one. And two, who even knows what mental health is? And that's what I'm going to speak about. So I just want to break it down. So let's just go with, so first of all, holistic. Let's talk about holistic, what holistic is. And holistic is characterized by the treatment of the whole person, right? So we're looking at the whole person, and we're going to take into account the mental and the physical factors, rather than just the root cause of a physical disease. We're dealing with mind, body, and soul, right? And when I first embarked on my holistic journey, stemming from writing the words on a vision board, to be holistically healthy, I didn't know how to compose such a lifestyle, right? How do you do that? You hear holistically healthy, you see a word, and you think you know what it is, and you say, you know what? On a vision board, I'm going to write this down to be holistically healthy, right? Well, I didn't know how to compose that particular lifestyle. I just understood that that thoughts become things, and that I'd habitually seek the next greatest version of myself over and over again to actualize a holistic lifestyle. That's how that happened. And manifestation of an idea through focused activities come with the territory, right? You manifest, the manifestation of the idea. You have an idea of what you want, to be a holistic lifestyle, right? That is the abstract form of it. It's not even in practice, right? It is practical, but it's not in practice. And then you make it practical. You begin doing the practices, not even knowing what it takes or how it is. You just begin to, because you put that idea out there, it goes from abstract to concrete, right? And I recommend that you study how to manifest, how to turn things from abstract to concrete, from thought to thing, right? Thoughts become things. And if you take a look at the laws of Tahuti, I guess they say Hermes or whatever. Number one, all is mental, mentalism, all is mental. So today, good health is synonymous with food, but good health should be synonymous with mental health. All right? You say mental health? Yes. Mental health is well-being. This means that the individual realizes his potential, copes with the stresses of life, contributes to her community or his community, and be productive and fruitful in life. All right. And one of the key things that I just said there is when dealing with mental health, you realize these things, meaning that you make them real. So in order for you to attain good mental health, it is something that you're doing. It is something that's taking place. We're not dealing with the non-physical world. We're dealing in the actual activities, the day-to-day activities of the things that we are doing. Okay. One mental health is one who copes with stresses. Listen up. All of life for everyone is like the stock market. It's going up and down, up and down. Sometimes you have a bullish part of your life where it's going up, 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 and then sometimes it's bearish. It's going down, 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 and sometimes it goes all the way down. But for everyone, there are points where it comes up and it just consolidates, right? It's just staying along and adding to the life average of where you are. But you have the ability in focusing in on mental health to realize a higher average. Right? You're still going to have your peaks and your dips, your peaks and your valleys, but you have the ability through your activities, through the way that you think, through the way that you cope with your stresses, to improve your profit margins on your averages. Okay. Someone with mental health also contributes to her community, right? You're doing things within the community, right? And doing things within the community, it's like a euphoric moment, when you're working with other people and you're giving your energy, you're taking your energy and you're helping a community or you're helping a person. When you're doing this, you're adding, that's called personal credit. And it feels good to get personal credit, and you get personal credit by giving. When you give, you receive, right? You receive personal credit, or you receive the energy of people like, man, I appreciate that you help. Sometimes you get something for it. Sometimes you don't get anything for it. But one thing that you're going to get out of it is the ability to build your social networks, whether it be in out in the world or on social media, right? Because the social media is a new world. So we have to value social media. So more importantly, though, the mental is the aspect that forms the abstract reality to concrete reality. That's the main thing, right? And whatever the physical does in well-being is no more than a function of mental health, right? When we're talking about being well, that is just a function of mental health. How are you coping with the stresses? Or just basically coping with stresses, realizing your potential, and again, just being a contributor to life and to reality, right? How would you accomplish mental health? That's really up to you. How you accomplish mental health is up to you, and each perspective is his own. It's not the same. Listen, I love to exercise and lift weights, and I eat a certain way, but I know guys that are like, I know a guy that's 80 years old. This is Bill Bondsman, and we don't have the same type of diet. He's not vegan, and I said, and he's like, he looks really good, and I just asked, what are you doing? How do you stay so healthy? He says, I go to church every Sunday. I rely on the Lord. I live a modest life. I don't do anything to excess. He said, I don't eat too much. He said, but my grandma always told me to eat mint. The little candy mint. He said, I always eat one candy mint every day, but I don't do too much. And he says, I go to church every day, right? And for him, but he does much more. I mean, he's really active in the community. Like I said, he's a bail bondsman, and I've seen him around. He's well respected in the community. So, just being active in the community and giving up others has really done well for him. Like I said, the man is healthy. The man, he has to be. He walks upright. He walks fast. He walks like a young man at 80 years old, and he has to weigh about. I give him about 145, and he stands about maybe 5'9", 5'8", 5'9", maybe 5'10", somewhere around there, close to my height. I'm 5'11". All right, so here are a few points that can help you experience your version, right? The goal is, we're talking about mental health. We're breaking down like what mental health is. And mental health is really well-being. Whenever you're saying mental health, we're talking about your mentality, how you view things, right? And then how you're realizing that in a manner of wellness. That's why it's called mental health, right? It's, in other words, it's synonymous with well-being. How are you coping? What are you doing in your communities? Physical activities. How are you eating? What's your diet like? What are your habits like? All of these things together creates your well-being, and it creates the outcome. I have to keep stressing that. All of these things, this abstract thought phenomena results in the output. Input equals output. So here are a few pointers that work for me. Some things that I do. I do some things more than others, but they work for me. They work for other people, and I'm pretty sure they'll work for you. But it's not all inclusive, right? You can find your own. And so number one is be mindful. Be mindful. That's number one for me, and it has been for a very long time, ever since I read, a book by the name, a book called Conversation with God, book number one. And that book was given to me by a friend that, rest in peace, he actually committed suicide like a few months after he got that book. But that book was major in my life. And it was written by Neil Donald Walsh, Conversation with God, book one. And it basically, it goes to being mindful, be sensitively aware of the present moment. Right now, I'm in my room, right? My family's out there watching a movie. The Ant-Man movie is up, it's loud, it's blasting. I made sure my room is clean. I always try to make sure things is clean around me. I do my beard, I do my hair. I make sure that I'm doing something that I'm love. Right now, I'm making a video. I want to speak about mental health. I did a whole write-up. I did a whole piece. I'm just aware of what's happening in my life, right? When I could be unaware, I could be out on the street, bopping, messing around, doing who knows what. That people obviously do when you hear these stories, but that's not me. I like to be mindful of the present moment. And that's really what I'm doing. I'm being mindful. What am I doing? Where am I at? How do I feel? I feel good. I feel great. What have I eaten today? I've only eaten grapes today. It's 4:20 p.m. Just being mindful on what's happening. And when you say, what are you being mindful to? It's including your thoughts, your feelings, your body, the world around you. Some people call this awareness, like being aware. I'm aware, right? And that's really what that is. Now, it can positively change your experiences when you're being mindful. And when we're talking about experiences, what do you know, right? What are you experiencing at the moment? People complain about this happening and that happening, but these things are happening because we're giving attention to it. Now, there are situations that pop up when there are things that you can't do anything about it, if there is something out there that you can't do anything about, you don't put your attention on that. You can't do anything about it anyway. So you focus on the things that you can do something about. That's how you deal with that. And then you have to be faithful. I'm telling you, faith works. You have to be faithful. And I don't care if you want to call it God. I don't care if you want to call it Jesus. If you're anarchist, well, then you got to have faith in some anarchy thing and just the way it works. Therefore, you have to have faith that life works just the way life works. However you look at it, you have to have faith. And when you have faith, there's some type of power behind faith that makes something that you can't do anything about work in your favor. All right? It will work in your favor. You just have to maintain that faith. And again, that comes with being mindful. If you want a book that can help you with being mindful, I have a book. It's called Eckhart Tolle. Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. Number 2, give to others. Right, the smallest acts count, whether it's a smile or a thank you. A small positive acts build personal credit. Small things that you do. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. How can I do that for you? Hey, what do you need? Calling someone, checking up on somebody, even if you don't want to or you don't like to, doesn't it feel good when somebody calls you and check up on you? Even though you don't want to talk, it still feels good. And you know what? Hey, you'll remember that person thought about you. Those small things, those are small acts, and it builds personal credit, right? It's giving to others, and larger acts are acts, when you're volunteering, when you're stepping out, you're doing something that can definitely help someone else, another person, people, persons, communities, volunteering for some type of event, especially if it's free. These are ways that you can build large personal credits, right? And they will, over time, they will definitely come back to you. You're building seeds. People remember you. You're standing out where most people are too busy complaining about how sad and pitiful life is, and what are you going to pay me? You know what I mean? People want something back in return, right? And you don't want to be that person. You just want to be someone that gives. Don't be a dummy, right? We're just dealing with principles of well-being, principles of mental health, right? Giving to others. Be active. Exercise. You don't have to go to a gym. Walk. Go outside and walk. Go outside and run. Build a habit. Build some type of physical habit. Learn how to do sun salutations. Learn Tai Chi. Learn bodybuild. Run a marathon. Do something. Build something. Work on something that you can do really for the rest of your life. It's almost like a job. We know how to go to work and work a 9 to 5. And I'm going to do this for 20 years or 40 years. I know almost everybody I know has been working a 9 to 5 or some type of job that's not entrepreneurial. It's not investing. It's not, it's 9 to 5. No one is building a business where they have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 employees. It's all 9 to 5. And if we can do that, then we surely can work on our own selves, our own hobbies. We can build a hobby for a business. And that's one thing that I've done is exercise, health, exercise, dieting, and really understanding these principles that I'm speaking about right now that really pertains to mental health. Excuse me. And it's just something that I love. That's why I'm able to speak on the topic. So that's probably being active and being mindful of probably my top 2. And number 4 is to connect. Connect with people around you. And for me, that's social media. I like to connect with. I have neighbors. I'm kind of a private person. Like I'm personal. I don't like to do a lot of things with people because we don't have the same interests. But those that I do have an interest with, I really do love to hang out with them and build with them, you know. But I like to build on a different level, right? And it's kind of like me interacting with you guys through social media. And if not that, it's when I'm out and I'm in public, I'm talking to people about my business, right? My health consultation business that I'm building to basically put ideas. All I'm doing is giving you ideas. I'm not even selling you ideas. I'm not selling. I'm just giving you. I'm raising your health conscious frequency, right? Your mental health frequency. My goal is to raise that. That's what I'm doing here. So, guys, that's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to speak about. I wanted to speak about the topic of mental health. I feel like I was able to do that, and I'm going to wrap this up. Um, and if you guys have any questions, again, whether you speak to me, whether you have questions or not, it doesn't matter to me. Just the fact that I'm putting this information out there, I pray that it vibrates, the vibrations reaches you guys, and then you're able to make changes in your life based on that. And even better than that, you're able to reach out to other people, right? If you want to, you can tell people about me, the things that I'm doing as far as what I'm speaking about. If you have any types of like groups that you want to involve me in, you can do that. But this is what I love to do, you know, and that's where I'm at. So if you want to check out more about where I'm at, I do have a YouTube. You know what? I need to change the name of my YouTube channel. But it is called Lamar B. Conscious Living. I don't know if you can find it or not, but it's Lamar B. Conscious Living. If you go down my page, you'll see some of my videos and my YouTube videos, and you'll be able to see that. Earth's Nutritional Elements on Instagram. I like to make little 1-minute videos or just post of the things that I'm eating, or my wife does the same thing, or some type of information dealing with health that goes on Earth's Nutrition Elements. We're building that up. What else? And then obviously my Facebook, Quaylon Busby, QWALION Busby, BUSBY. You just type that in, you can find me on Facebook. And peace, love, happiness, and wellness.